My dearest love, as I speak to you now, I am reminded of the quiet moments we have shared, moments so profound that they feel like they belong not just to us, but to the history of time itself. Each glance you give me, each word you whisper, carries with it a weight and a tenderness that makes me feel as though I am the only person in the world who matters. When I reflect on the days we have spent together, I see a tapestry woven with laughter, understanding, and the quiet courage to trust in one another. Your presence beside me has become a sanctuary, a place where the world fades away and all that remains is the bond we have built so carefully, so completely, over countless hours, shared secrets, and gentle embraces. Every day, I find myself in awe of you, in awe of the strength that hides behind your softness, the patience that endures despite the storms of life, and the unwavering light you shine that guides me even in the moments when I falter. I think often of the way your hand fits perfectly in mine, as if it were made to complete me, as if the universe conspired to place us together in this intricate dance of love and understanding. To love you is to know a depth I had only dreamed of before, a depth that stretches beyond words, beyond time, beyond even the most carefully measured expressions of devotion. I wish to give you all that I am, all that I will ever be, and yet I know that no gift could ever truly encapsulate the enormity of what you mean to me. It is in the small, almost imperceptible gestures where I see our love most clearly. The way you remember my favorite things without me mentioning them, the way you notice the subtle shifts in my mood and offer comfort before I even ask, the way your laughter can make the heaviest of days feel light again. You are my anchor, my guide, my safe harbor in a world that often seems uncertain and tumultuous. And yet, you are also my adventure, the spark that ignites every day with possibility, the one who challenges me to grow, to embrace, to explore the fullness of life without fear. As I think of the years that lie ahead of us, I imagine a life intertwined so completely that it becomes impossible to discern where I end and you begin. I imagine a home filled with warmth, with the echoes of laughter that belong to us alone, with quiet nights where words are unnecessary, because the presence of each other is enough. I imagine watching the seasons pass, hand in hand, heart in heart, and knowing that whatever challenges arise, we will face them together, unshaken, unbroken, united by a love that is both tender and fierce. You have taught me what it means to give fully, to open one's heart without hesitation, to trust that another soul will meet you with the same care, the same reverence, and the same devotion. Every day, I am humbled by the way you love me, not as a possession, not as a fleeting fancy, but as a living, breathing connection that demands respect, attention, and nurturing. I want to be deserving of your love, to rise to the beauty that you bring into my life, and to ensure that every day you feel the same sense of wonder and gratitude that I feel simply by knowing you exist. I promise to honor you, to hold you with gentleness and with strength, to laugh with you in times of joy, and to stand firmly beside you in times of difficulty. Your happiness is my constant aim, your peace my constant prayer. And yet, even as I make these promises, I know they are but a reflection of the truth that has always been clear to me, that loving you is not an obligation, it is a privilege, a blessing that I will carry with me all the days of my life. The memory of your smile, the warmth of your embrace, the way your eyes hold a universe of understanding and care. These are treasures I hold closer than anything else in the world. You have made me see that love is not only about grand declarations or fleeting moments of passion, but about constancy, about the quiet dedication to another's well-being, about the courage to be vulnerable and yet unafraid, about the commitment to nurture something that is living and sacred. Even in the silences we share, I feel the depth of our connection, a current of understanding and empathy that flows between us without words, without gestures, without expectation. And when I look at you, I see not just the person I love, but the person I aspire to be alongside, the partner with whom every joy is amplified, every sorrow halved, and every ordinary moment transformed into something extraordinary. I think often of the future we will build, of the adventures and quiet mornings, of the milestones and the small, unnoticed victories, and I am filled with a sense of certainty that no matter what life may bring, we will meet it together, hand in hand, heart to heart. I love you not just for who you are, but for the way you make me see myself anew, for the courage you inspire, and for the steadfast devotion that never wavers. There is no treasure greater than the knowledge that we share a life, a vision, and a love so profound that it becomes a force capable of weathering all storms, enduring all hardships, and embracing all joys. And so, my love, know that as long as I live, you will never walk alone. Every step you take will be met with my care, my support, my unwavering presence. Every tear you shed will be met with my comfort, every laugh with my delight, and every triumph with my deepest pride. You are my forever love, my constant, my joy, and my home. There is no measure for what I feel for you, and yet I will spend every moment of my life trying to show you in both word and deed how truly, endlessly, and completely I am yours. There are moments, my love, when I sit quietly and let my thoughts drift to you, and suddenly the entire world feels softer, as though your presence alone has the power to calm storms I never dared speak of. Even when we are apart, there is an invisible thread that ties my heart to yours, a gentle pull that reminds me that somewhere, someone loves me with a devotion so sincere that it reshapes how I see myself. This connection we share, delicate yet unbreakable, has grown into the foundation upon which I build my days, my hopes, and all the dreams that stretch far beyond the horizon. You might not always see it, but your influence lingers in every choice I make, in the courage I gather on uncertain days, in the strength that rises within me when the world feels overwhelming. It is as if your love has planted a quiet bravery inside me, one that whispers that I am capable, worthy, and endlessly supported. Sometimes I wonder if you truly realize the impact you have on me. The way you listen not just to my words, but to the silences between them. The way you soothe my fears without dismissing them, and lift my spirits without ever belittling what weighs on my heart. You have an extraordinary gift, one that turns vulnerability into safety, uncertainty into clarity, loneliness into companionship. You have become a presence I crave in the simplest and most profound ways. A voice that steadies me, a laugh that brightens me, a touch that makes everything feel right again. It amazes me how naturally you understand the rhythm of my heart, as though you have always been meant to walk beside me in this life. When I think back to the early days of our story, everything seemed beautiful in its innocence, but now I realize that what we have built is even more remarkable. In the beginning, love often feels like a burst of light, exciting, new, overwhelming in its sweetness. But what we have now is something far deeper, something that has grown roots strong enough to hold steady through both sunshine and storm. I treasure the way we have learned to speak honestly even when it's difficult, to comfort one another with patience, to celebrate even the smallest victories as though they were triumphs of a lifetime. These shared discoveries have shaped us into partners who know not just the joy of love, but the responsibility and the privilege of nurturing it. Every time our hands meet, I feel a familiar spark, a gentle reminder that what we share is rare, delicate, and precious. That spark tells me that love is not simply found, it is chosen, cared for, and protected. And every day, I choose you with a certainty that quiets every doubt. I choose you when I wake up and see the sun rising, imagining the future we will welcome together. I choose you in the moments of laughter that come from deep within my chest, and in moments of stillness when your presence beside me is all the comfort I need. I choose you when I am strong, and I choose you just as fiercely when I am fragile. And I feel, deep within my soul, that you choose me too. There are evenings when I picture the life ahead of us as vividly as if it were unfolding before my eyes. I imagine us years from now, still finding joy in simple things. The warmth of shared tea on cold mornings, the sound of rain tapping softly against the windows as we sit close together, the quiet peace of knowing that no matter how much time passes, your heart beats in rhythm with mine. I see us creating traditions that belong only to us, weaving memories into the fabric of our life, turning ordinary days into cherished stories we will recall with gentle smiles. I imagine the comfort of familiar routines, your voice greeting me after a long day, your laugh echoing across our home, your presence filling the spaces that might have once felt empty. But above all, I imagine the resilience of our love, how it will continue to grow, even when life tests us. I imagine the challenges we will overcome, standing not as separate individuals, but as one bonded force. And even though I know life can be unpredictable, I feel no fear when I think of the future, because I know that you will be there, walking beside me with the same steady devotion that has guided us this far. That assurance alone brings me a peace I once thought impossible. What I cherish most is how you see me, not as a symbol or an expectation, but as a human being who laughs, who doubts, who dreams, who sometimes needs reassurance. Your love reminds me that it is safe to be imperfect, to be genuine, to embrace the vulnerable parts of myself I once kept hidden. There is such tenderness in the way you accept me, in the way you celebrate even the smallest parts of who I am. It is a rare gift to be loved so completely, and I carry that gift close to my heart every single day. You have become the presence I seek when the world feels too loud, too demanding, too uncertain. Your words calm my thoughts, your gestures soothe my fears, and your love grounds me when everything around me seems to shift. In your arms, I find a sense of belonging that no title, no role, no expectation could ever provide. You are my refuge in a world that often feels chaotic, the person with whom I can be my truest self. With you, I am not defined by responsibilities or obligations. I am simply a soul that recognizes another soul it was meant to love. And yet, what moves me most deeply is how effortlessly you make life feel meaningful. Even the smallest interactions with you, a shared glance, a soft greeting, a quiet moment of understanding, carry a weight that fills my heart with gratitude. You make me want to slow down and notice everything, the way your eyes soften when you look at me, the way your expressions shift with emotion, the way your kindness radiates not just toward me, but toward everyone you encounter. You carry a light within you, a light that illuminates everything it touches, and I am honored to be one of the closest witnesses to its glow. Sometimes I find myself imagining the conversations we will have years from now, reflecting on all we have lived through together. The dreams we chased, the fears we overcame, the paths we walked side by side. I imagine us smiling at how much we grew, not only as individuals but as partners, learning to navigate the intricacies of love with grace and humor. I imagine the wisdom we will have gathered, the lessons we will have learned, and the profound appreciation we will hold for every moment that led us to where we are. You are not just the love of my life. You are the story I want to tell again and again, the constant thread in every chapter, the voice I long to hear in both joy and uncertainty. I don't believe destiny simply handed me your heart. I believe we built this love through courage, trust, and the willingness to truly see one another. I believe we earned this bond, and it is all the more valuable because of it. Every day, I am reminded that the world is vast and unpredictable, yet somehow, miraculously, we found each other within it. And not only did we find each other, we chose to stay, to cultivate, to grow something beautiful and enduring. For that, my love, I will always be grateful. There is something extraordinary in the way you walk into my life every single day, as though love itself has chosen to wear your face and speak in your voice. I find myself pausing more often now, letting my mind drift to the countless ways your presence has shaped who I am becoming. Before you, I thought I understood what it meant to feel connected to someone, but what we share has revealed an entirely different depth. A tenderness that goes beyond anything I had ever imagined. You made me understand that love is not a single moment or emotion, but a series of choices made with courage, patience, and unwavering dedication. Through you, I have learned that the heart has an infinite capacity to grow when it is nurtured with kindness and constancy. Sometimes, when I am alone in a quiet room, I replay moments of us together, moments that seem so simple yet feel like the core of a life well lived. The times we laughed until the world faded around us, the nights when we shared truths we had never said aloud before, the mornings when the first thing I felt was your warmth beside me. All these fragments form a mosaic of what our love truly is. Not grand or dramatic, but deeply human, deeply real, and undeniably ours. There is a softness in remembering these moments, a comforting certainty that whatever happens, we have already built something strong enough to withstand it. You once told me that love means seeing someone not only as they are, but as they could become, and sometimes I think you saw my potential long before I dared believe in it myself. You have lifted me when doubt clouded my path and celebrated me when triumph felt almost surreal. The way you look at me, with such assurance and tenderness, makes me feel capable of facing anything. You have believed in my abilities even when I feared I might fail, and that faith has become a guiding light, illuminating even the darkest corners of my mind. There is no greater gift than to be loved by someone who sees both your weaknesses and your strengths and holds both with equal care. It amazes me how effortlessly you understand the parts of me I once kept hidden from the world. You read my silences as though they were written in a language made solely for the two of us. You sense my worries before I speak them aloud, not because you are trying to fix me, but because you genuinely want to walk with me through every emotion. There is something sacred in being known so deeply, something rare and precious. It has changed me in ways I never expected, opening my heart to a softness I once thought was fragile. But you have shown me that vulnerability is not weakness, it is the purest form of trust. There are times when I imagine telling our story to someone years from now, perhaps a child sitting at my feet, curious about how love begins, or a friend seeking comfort for a wounded heart. I imagine speaking of you the way one speaks of constellations, pointing out how you illuminated every shadowed place in my life. I would tell them that before you, I had dreams that felt distant and unreachable, but with you, dreams began to feel like paths rather than fantasies. I would say that love came to me not as a whirlwind, but as a steady, persistent warmth, one that settled into my soul with a gentleness that felt almost divine. You have become a part of every vision I have for the future. In my mind, I see us stepping through life as partners in every sense, celebrating each other's triumphs, comforting each other's losses, and holding on to each other even when challenges rise like towering waves. I see us traveling to places we have only spoken about in passing, exploring cities bathed in golden sunlight, wandering through markets and gardens, discovering new corners of the world and new corners of each other. I see us building a home filled with laughter, where warmth lingers in the hallways and comfort can be found in every shared glance. But more than anything, I see us growing, not into perfection, but into a deeper understanding of what it means to truly love. You are the person I want beside me in every chapter, from the most triumphant to the most uncertain. I want to see the way your eyes light up when you speak of your dreams, to hear the tremble in your voice when you share fears you've never voiced to anyone else, to stand beside you through every moment that shapes who you are becoming. I want to hold your hand in celebrations and in sorrow, to be the person you turn to when the world feels overwhelming, to be the one who reminds you of your strength when the weight of life feels too heavy. Loving you has become the most natural part of my existence, something as effortless as breathing and as constant as the quiet rhythm of my heart. There are mornings when I wake up and the sunlight makes the room glow in a way that feels almost enchanted, and in that glow, I think of you. I think of how much joy you bring into my life without even trying, how your kindness spills into every conversation, every gesture, every silence. Your presence has made me more grateful for the simple beauty in everyday moments. The way the wind rustles through the trees, the sound of distant laughter, the warmth of a cup of tea between my hands. All these things feel richer, deeper, because they remind me of you. You have made me appreciate life not for its perfection, but for its quiet, imperfect wonder. In you, I found not only love, but companionship, the kind that feels like a steady embrace even when you are miles away. You are the person who sees me, truly sees me, without judgment or expectation. The person who allows me to be both strong and fragile, both confident and uncertain. With you, I am allowed to be human in the truest sense, and that freedom is something I cherish more than words could ever capture. You have given me a safe place to rest my fears, to share my dreams, to express the parts of myself I once tucked away behind caution and control. It is a privilege to be loved with such gentleness, and I hold that privilege with all the tenderness it deserves. There is a quiet promise in the way we love, a promise that whatever life may bring, we will navigate it together. I feel it in the way you speak my name, in the warmth of your touch, in the sincerity behind every word you share with me. You have taught me that love is not measured by perfection, but by effort, by commitment, by the willingness to stay even when things grow complicated. And I promise you now, with all the conviction in my heart, that I will stay, through uncertainty, through triumph, through each season of life that unfolds before us. I will walk beside you. Your joys will be my joys, your burdens my burdens, your dreams my dreams. Sometimes I imagine the two of us many years from now, sitting together in the quiet of an evening, the world outside somehow softer with age. I picture you smiling at me the way you do now, your expression filled with the same warmth and familiarity. And in that imagined moment, I realize how deeply I want to reach that future with you. I want to look back on a life we built with patience, with forgiveness, with devotion. A life full of shared adventures, shared mistakes, shared victories, and shared hope. A life where love was never taken for granted, but nurtured with intention every single day. What we share is not a fleeting emotion. It is a bond that strengthens with every challenge we overcome, with every moment we choose to stand together rather than apart. You have become the quiet heartbeat of my days, the constant rhythm that guides me forward with clarity and peace. And though I cannot predict where life may lead us, I know with certainty that loving you is one of the choices I will never regret. You have brought joy into corners of my life I once thought were destined to remain dark. You have awakened parts of me I never knew existed, and you have made me feel alive in a way I cannot fully express. I want to carry this love with me always, to hold it gently, to protect it fiercely, to honor it as one of the greatest gifts I have ever received. And I want you to know, without doubt, that my heart is yours in every possible way. Not because I expect perfection, not because I believe life with you will always be easy, but because you are the one who makes even the hardest days feel worth living. You are my comfort, my joy, my strength, and the quiet truth I return to again and again. And so I offer you this final thought, simple yet profound: you are my home. Not a place, not a moment, but a presence that makes everything feel right. Wherever you are, I feel safe. Wherever you dream, I want to follow. Whatever life gives us, I will meet it with you, unwavering and unafraid. My love for you is not bound by time or circumstance. It grows, it deepens, it strengthens, and it stays. This is my heart, placed gently into your hands, trusting that you will hold it as carefully as I hold yours. This is my promise: to love you, to honor you, to grow with you, and to walk beside you for every step this life allows. You are my forever love, my constant light, and the person I will choose today, tomorrow, and every day that comes.